Hey everybody, my name is Danielle and this is Chatter Out Loud. Thank you so much for joining me. Your presence is very much appreciated. So welcome or welcome back. Today I'm going to chat about Hallmark's annual New Year New Movies event. On this weekend, they continued the sequel to the Wedding Veil trilogy with a new original movie, The Wedding Veil Inspiration. The Wedding Veil Inspiration. It premiered on Saturday, January 14th at 8 p.m. Eastern on the Hallmark Channel, and it stars Autumn Reeser, Paolo Bernardini, Lacey Chabert, and Alison Sweeney. And the synopsis is as follows. Emma's life plan is thrown off course when Paolo must return to Italy to take care of his father, and she discovers a new passion for making art accessible to all. So this second movie in this sequel trilogy, we follow Emma and Paolo as he prepares to open a lace shop in Chicago with Matteo, who is Paolo's cousin, who moved from Florida because of a heartbreak. And Emma is on track for a promotion to department chair. They both have different thoughts on growing their family. Emma wants to wait for things to fall into place, where Paolo is more of let's do it now because that day may never come, right? No one is promised tomorrow, so let's just do it. A family crisis occurs and it leads Paolo back to Italy, and the couple find themselves having to navigate their time far away from each other, and then the story develops from there. In this movie, of course, we see her besties, Tracy and Avery, who make an appearance. And true to form, the ladies call and text each other, and when Emma isn't returning their calls, they just show up in person to support their friend. We saw this in the first trilogy, and we see it again in the sequel to the trilogy, right? A few observations. Several storylines are happening in parallel in this movie. I didn't find it hard to follow at all. Emma, the storylines are Emma preparing for a promotion to department chair, and through this journey she learns a lot about herself and if she really wants to pursue that dream. We see Paolo having to go to Italy for his dad. There was an emergency, a health emergency or a health crisis, or his father experienced a health crisis or health emergency where he had to fly out to Italy. Subsequently, once he's there around family, he's feeling a need to take over that family business, right? And this certainly puts their relationship in a position where they have to make life choices, make some decisions, right? As a couple. And Emma is adamant about not having a long distance relationship. She was very clear on that. We have the story behind Lily and Matteo and their romance. I thought the initial interaction between Lily and Matteo was hilarious. We see them both touch the veil when they meet, and we know the magic of the veil, right? When Lily that is, took a picture of the veil in the shop, we hear the chimes, right? And what was even funnier is how she tried to keep from being around the veil. Matteo even called that out. It was just funny how she was just skirting around it and trying not to make eye contact or make contact with the veil at all, not look at it and everything. That was pretty funny. In the shop, I like how Emma gave the history of the veil and all three girls finding love and getting married. And if you hadn't watched the original trilogy, the story that she told provided context. So I liked that and thought that it fit nicely into the story into this movie, right? I like when the ladies came into town to support their friend and they reminisced about their college days and their jammies and took their selfie. And that selfie with all the three ladies is a staple in the trilogy, the Wedding Veil trilogy, that is. They take one in every movie. Emma's comfort food was boxed macaroni and hot dogs chopped up in them. Did anyone else find this were you surprised by this? I thought, wow. Yeah, it just surprised me. I was surprised for that character to have, that's her comfort food. Boxed macaroni and cheese with hot dogs chopped up in them. Nancy, the current department chair that Emma would replace, she promised Emma the job, but it appeared in the movie that she just didn't want to retire. And initially we were not liking Nancy. But we later learned what she was up to all along, and she kind of helped push Emma to a realization about her career. So we understood Nancy after we found out what she was really trying to do. The line when the girls were worried about Emma not returning their calls, Tracy said, I even sent you well, they were saying, hey, Emma, you're not responding to our texts, our calls. Um, and Avery said, yeah, I sent you 2 pictures of Daniel, which is her baby. And there was like radio silence. She didn't say anything. She didn't respond, like it, or anything. And then Tracy goes, I even sent you penguin videos and no response. I just thought that was cute. I like penguin videos. Like, what? I had no idea. Like, what is the context behind penguin videos? It just was funny to me. And Tracy's always having these one-liners that is hysterical. Like in the last one, Expectations, she was talking about, oh, I forget his name, but she's like, is that accent even real? I don't know. I like Tracy. Um, Emma's reaction to Charlotte, and Charlotte is the spider in her office. I thought it was so silly. I did find when Lily caught Charlotte the spider in her cup on Emma's desk while they were talking, I thought that was really funny because Emma was like, is she under there? Anyway, it was so cheesy, but I enjoyed it. Lily's wedding dress, it didn't quite fit her personality. I mean, there's a lot of story that goes that happens in between and the development of Lily and Mateo, but in the end, and this is a spoiler, Lily winds up getting married, but her dress didn't quite fit her personality, in my opinion, and I didn't find the dress all that flattering altogether. I didn't like the dress all that much, and I promised myself I'd go back to double check, but her wedding cake was brown. It was brown frosting. I'm gonna go back and look. I hadn't had a chance to do that before the recording of this, but between the wedding dress and the cake, I'm not sure what the wedding theme was, but I didn't like it. All right. And at the end, and it's another spoiler alert, Emma opted to keep the christening gown. Hint, hint. And I thought there would be more surrounding the christening gown, right? Like there would be a tale or something like that. Like whoever has it now will be having a baby, but it's not. But anyway, she opted to keep the christening gown, so we know what that means, right? And oh yeah, at the end of this movie, they did another interview with the characters. Like the actors were in character at the end. They did a movie. Like who are they talking to? I didn't quite get it in the first one, Expectations, and now they're doing it with this one, Inspiration. I suspect we'll get another interview at the end of the movie for the next one, Journey. But who are they supposed to be talking to? I just don't understand what's happening. It's cute, yeah, and I like it. I don't dislike it. Who are they talking to? Are they being interviewed by someone? Like, who are they talking to? That's all. So in this movie, I thought the performances were great. I really liked the story for Emma and Paolo. It felt more real in this sequel trilogy compared to this couple's original story, in the first trilogy. The chemistry in the movie was great. The pace of the movie was also pretty good. I was engaged watching, and it kept my attention. I liked it a lot. I recommend this movie. There were feel-good moments, and the second love story behind or between Lily and Mateo, that was okay. But we know the magic of the wedding veil. I'm not sure how many times we can have that magic. So, I mean, it has to happen because of the wedding veil and the story behind that and the history behind that. So we have to get a wedding in there. Every story, I think. But Lily and Mateo, they were okay, right? And as with the other movies, I love seeing the friendship between the women. It just cracks me up how they just show up for that one day. We're just in town for one day, my friend needs me, so they just show up. And the next movie, we'll see them pop up for Tracy's honeymoon. That's what I see on the previews. All right, The Wedding Veil Inspiration. Have you seen the movie? What did you think? You have to let me know your thoughts in a comment below. And that's all I have, so be sure to come back and give me a listen. I'd love for you to like, share, follow, comment, and subscribe, all of which will help my channel grow, so thank you in advance. My name is Danielle. You're listening to Chatter Out Loud. Thank you so much for joining me, and as always, I appreciate your support. And that's all I have. Thanks again for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.